21st. We are here with beautiful actress, film producer, entrepreneur, and businesswoman Candace Renee. Welcome to the Dollhouse, girl. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. And as you guys can see, we are both coordinating spring colors. I've got olive green and she's rocking this beautiful magenta pink since we're all in the category of fashion and style, which we'll be diving into a little later in the show. But before we kick off our conversation, Candace, I mentioned you yesterday in my interview with Maurice Godfrey. We were talking about female film producers and filmmakers and how important black women in the industry. His wife Latanya, she was also there as well too, and we were just giving all of the female filmmakers out here their flowers because women in business we don't get our flowers enough, especially for being filmmakers. So it was you, it was Dr. Maya Speller, it was Kendra Rainey King, who is on fire right now, and it's so many others. Nina Stacks out here. So we'll talk about that and how important it is for Black women to see representation on the screen. And I try
Absolutely.
to center my show around definitely uplifting Black women at a time where so much is going on in the world and we're under attack, our achievements and all of that and so much more. But how has 2026 been for you thus far?
Oh, when I can be honest, hello. It's been a roller coaster. It has. It's been a roller coaster, but it's been great. It's been great. A beautiful journey. A beautiful journey. In the words of my dear friend Rock White, a beautiful struggle. But yes, it's been interesting.
And we're going to overcome it as we always
Yes.
do. It's the resiliency, and we get that from our mothers and our grandmothers. They've always raised us up to bounce back after whatever it is. It's always been a thing with us collectively where we bounce back and
Hmm.
come back through all of the chaos, all of the things that people said we
All of the
couldn't
things.
conquer do, we always bounce back. Now let's get into the beginning of your story. You were born in California, LA, am I correct?
No, born and raised Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Texas, Southern girl. And I'm from South Carolina, so that's a connection that we both have as being Southern girls and being, deep down in the South. So what was it like for you growing up in Dallas, Texas? And I always ask this question to my guests because I'm curious to know. And I asked Maurice the same thing yesterday. We were talking about the people who inspired us growing up. So growing up as this little, beautiful brown girl in Dallas, Texas, who was it that you saw on television that inspired you to get into the field of acting, becoming an actress? I know for me, the brown girl who inspired me because she looked so much like us is two actually. Now, the first three, one would be Pam Grier, the third one would be Diane Carroll, and then the second would be Felicia Rashad. And then I went on in the interview yesterday, I would say Whitney Houston. She's to be able to sing, to be able to perform, to be able to
Hmm.
act, to do all of these things. These were the women who helped shape my career growing up into hosting Style by Stevie. So who was it for you, Candace, that inspired you? What women inspired you or had played a part in your life growing up?
You know what? That's a really good question because I have my answer is interesting. So growing up, I started out dancing. I've been a dancer since I could walk. TV wise, I became intrigued when I constantly was compared to the little girl from Crooklyn. Shout out to Spike Lee. I don't know if you remember the movie Crooklyn, but the little girl that
Yes.
played Crooklyn alongside with Woodard, I always got people would always say, "You look just like that girl from Crooklyn." And I loved her character, her personality. She was so inquisitive. She reminded me so much of myself. I grew up in South Dallas in Oak Cliff, Texas. And if you know anything about Dallas, you know about Oak Cliff. I grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
I played outside with my friends. Every summer, I went to a recreation center where all the hood kids came and we went swimming and we played on a playground. So, Crooklyn, I resonated a lot with that movie. And but it wasn't until I was in the sixth grade and I was cast as Dorothy in the Wiz for a stage production. And what was so special about this stage play is that the director was so strict. All of the kids, we were sixth grade and under, All of the kids had to sing live, but because I cannot sing a lick, I was the only child that had to lip sync and learn the original songs from The Wiz. That was the introduction, and that's what gave me my bug to acting, and that's what intrigued and sparked my acting career. Sixth grade, cast as The Wiz, honestly. Yes. But it started a little bit with just a little watching that little girl. I do not know her name, but watching that little girl in Crooklyn. And it just went from there.
And
Felt like
going
I could
back,
do it too. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And we see these young child actors, and the prime example of that would be Raven Simone. Raven has long stood the test of time from childhood
Yes.
actor, now having her show on Disney, to now being a film producer, which we'll
Right.
get into on your, because it's different layers to you, and that's what I loved about you. And I remember reaching out about you coming on my show. I said, I see a sister who's doing her thing, and I'm always about empowering African American women here on my show and on my platform, the Black Collective as well too, but mainly women. I try to make it center it on us because in the business, Black women we don't get our flowers enough. As being filmmakers, as being producers, as being
Right.
writers. So when I see a Shonda Rhimes or a Regina King
Yes.
or
Yes.
Viola Davis or a Gina Prince or it's
Lena.
so many
Lena Waite.
hard. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
just
Mara Brocker
name
Keel. Yes. Yeah.
we we're Yvette Lee Bowser, who is the creator. I talk a lot about Living Single here on my show and how Living Single. Yesterday we talked about how all of these shows, black shows like Living Single, your 227s, and so many others have helped shape black culture.
Absolutely.
And you've mentioned a film that helps shape black culture. That's Crooklyn. We've
Yeah.
seen that one. Of course, we know Friday, but Spike Lee, what he did, kudos to him. And I said this on the show yesterday. What Spike Lee did was he took, two nickels, he rubbed them together, and he created his own production company, which is 40 Acres and a Mule. And you know this as an entrepreneur and as a businesswoman. So, Candace, for you, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face? Because I know we both have faced challenges, and I'll
Mhm.
give mine after Candace gives hers. But as being a black woman in this business and a filmmaker, or producer, what are some of the challenges that you've encountered being a woman in this business?
Being heard. Being heard. Like, you know, this business is thick. It's very up and down. It is an emotional roller coaster. You have a lot of lows. You probably have more lows than you do have highs, right? So you have to mentally be equipped to deal with that. But when your voice is not being heard, how can you be heard? What is it that you can do to get your point of view across and not lose your mind in the process of it? Especially when you're a visionary, when you are very passionate about this and you have so many doors that close in your face or so many people that don't take you serious and or take your craft serious. How do you stand that? How do you continue to stay the course? So that is just really keeping a level head, I would say, has been a huge challenge.
And I'll give some of mine. And as you can see, you're looking at the screen. You're looking at two African American women here on the screen, and we are both of darker hue. So
Hmm.
colorism is some of the challenges that I've experienced.
Hmm.
Misogynoir, being black, being a woman. And for those of you who don't know what misogynoir is, allow me to elaborate. It was a coined by Moya Bailey, and it is misogyny against black women. And we've seen it in the instances as Serena Williams not looking like what the average tennis player would look like. We've seen it in the instances with Michelle Obama when she was the first
Hmm.
lady of the White House. And it's still constant attacks on black women on a daily. So those are some of the challenges. And then me not looking like the status quo, like your Tamron Hall or your
Hmm.
Oprah or your Jennifer Hudson. I don't look like the average talk show host. And besides, I'm not mainstream. I'm doing this independently with,
Hmm.
my vision, my dream. I put it together and invite the guests on and have these conversations because these are real life issues that impact everyday women in their lives, in their livelihoods. This year alone, 300,000 African American women have lost their jobs. And that is a result of misogyny and what we're seeing right now, which is, I was telling my colleague yesterday, the loneliness male epidemic, where men don't like to see us in power. And Madonna, she has a quote that goes like this. Yes, I'm very eclectic, Candace. I like all sorts of female artists here. But Madonna has a quote, and let me know if you agree with it. She says that weak men are intimidated by strong women in strength. I'm a Scorpio. So
Uh-oh.
back, yes, back to what you said about not being heard. That's why wait a minute. Uh-oh. We're going in and out. Okay, can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? I don't know what just happened. Uh-oh. I think we lost Candace. Okay, let me resend her the link. I'm gonna resend Candace the link. I don't know what just happened. But in the meantime, let me put my logo up and y'all enjoy that. Try to come back on, click the link, and I'll add you. Alrighty. In the meantime, while we're waiting on Candace, we're going to continue on with this conversation. She's going to join me back. We apologize about that. YouTube is tripping today. So let me add Candace back because this conversation was getting so good. And there we are.
All
And
right.
we're back. We were talking when you said that black women and being heard, it's a thing. When we speak out on issues that impact us, the first thing they do is they label us as this. They label us as aggressive,
Aggressive,
or she's
bitter,
bitter, or
bitter.
she's
Yeah.
angry, or she's ghetto. They've done it with that with Jasmine Crockett. They do that when a black woman is opinionated. Even I don't know if you follow her. Her name is Reese Colbert, and you guys have seen her with Clay
Hmm.
Kane. Candace, when I tell you I got in them comments and I just let loose. I said, you know what? Y'all could get enough of calling black women ghetto because if we are the most educated in the United States in America on earth, so for
Hmm.
you to sit up here and deny us or gaslight us in our existence as to
Right.
say because we're speaking up, that makes us ghetto.
Hmm.
They
Right.
always do that. But yeah, before Candace dropped, it was a quote from Madonna, and I wanted to get her opinion on it, which was Madonna said that weak men are intimidated by strong women, and that
I,
is the truth. That
I
is what we're
believe that.
seeing
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. I
So,
think a lot
Candace,
of
your
men
two
are
cents.
intimidated, period,
Okay,
by strong women. No, I agree. I totally agree. Yes. And the older I get, the more I realize that. And I actually and I experience it and I see that. And it's so disheartening. I just remember coming up, I just, remember so many men being just manly men, but no. If we have a
they
voice,
gotta have
if we
both. They gotta
stand
have
on our yes, you'd be surprised how many issues and challenges you face when we let our yes be our yes and our no be our no. Yeah.
and now that we're in a position where we are able to call the shots, it drives them crazy. Where we
Yep.
have a vision, we have an opinion on things or an outlook on life, they label us as bitter or angry or aggressive. And it's just like we have to have our opinion and our say so and our values as well too. It's called
Yeah.
having boundaries in this business. So when I say no, I'm not comfortable with doing this, and even I give you another example, Candace. I'm pretty sure you've seen the clip. Taraji P. Henson,
Hmm.
where she was saying that black women in this business do not get paid fair enough. And we know
Hmm.
that what it's 42 cents for every dollar that a man makes, and our white female counterparts, they don't even get paid fairly. But they
Hmm.
might get a little bit more than us if you're a Meryl Streep or somebody like that.
Hmm.
But for black actresses in the business, no, they don't get paid fairly. And it was
Right.
two women spoke, well, a couple, Gabrielle Union
Mm-hmm.
Viola Davis. She said, if you call me the Black Meryl Streep, pay me like it. Pay me what I'm worth. And that goes to the entrepreneurial aspect
Yeah.
because Candace is also a businesswoman as well too.
Hmm.
So, what advice would you give to other Black women on understanding our value, understanding our worth, and asking for more?
Do not feel guilty. Don't feel guilty about your voice is important and it matters. And stand on it. Stand on, the saying is stand on business. So do not be afraid and don't feel guilty. Don't carry the guilt that people try to put on you for standing on your yes or standing on your no or having your desires and having those dreams and going after that. Don't feel guilty. That's what I would say. Remove the guilt.
And it's
Yeah,
time. We have families to feed, we have families to
we
provide
do.
for. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with asking for an increase or a raise because
Nope.
I truly hate it that it is unfair that Black women, we don't get paid the same amount our male counterparts do. So,
Right.
say for instance, I give you an example. You got Kerry Washington and you've got Tracy Ellis Ross, and then you might have somebody like Coleman Domingo,
Hmm.
Love Coleman, or Lawrence Fishburne. Who do you think is going to get more out of that? Or Kevin Hart. I could use him because
Right.
he's worth a lot. Kevin Hart is worth a lot. So we already know the politics of the game in this business. And this is exactly why women, we are operating the way we are operating.
Hmm.
No, we're not going to be damn silent about it. We're not going to shut up talking about it. And that goes back to Candace's point, which is whenever we speak out on these issues, we are shunned, we are disciplined. We are told you need to sit down and stay in your place.
Mm. We're ignored. We can, yeah, but you can't. You So oftentimes, and I don't know if anyone else struggle with this, but when you do face so much controversy and so much resistance, you tend to shut down internally. And so that's why I'm really big on let your yes be yes and your no be no, living your truth. And do not, and that's why I say don't feel guilty for standing on business and do not let those that are really truly intimidated by you shut you down because that's exactly what they want because they're intimidated. And when you realize that other people are intimidated, that's an internal thing within themselves and you can't do anything about it. So you have no other choice but to keep going. So I encourage everybody, my brown sisters, you name some incredible talk show hosts, and all of them look different. Jennifer looks different from Sherry. Sherry looks different from Oprah. But look at where they are, and look at how successful they are. And that there's beauty in colors. There's beauty in range. There's beauty in differences, right? So I commend you for doing what you're doing at this level. And because I do believe that you continue to go and you're going to continue to grow. And it's just, it can only get bigger and grow from here as long as you continue to stay the course, right? So that would be my theme to every other woman, stay the course. I'm sure you're so much further ahead than where you were a year ago.
And and not just that, Candace, but to every woman, know your worth. Every Black woman, know your worth.
Know
We
your
are in
worth.
the year saying we are gonna and shout outs to my girlfriend Rashida Randall. When I had her on, she was saying Black women know your worth, pay attention, and set boundaries. There are limits
Boundaries.
what we can do if we
Yeah.
set boundaries. Let people know, and especially in a climate where these white men are in power and they are abusing their power and they
Hmm.
are silencing Black women and pushing us out of the movement and saying, hey, oh no, she's not qualified. Remember the whole conversation surrounding DEI and all of
Hmm.
this in the third. But guess what? Black women and Black people took that term and says definitely earned it because again, studies have shown time and time again that we are the most educated on earth. You can't argue with that. There's no debate. On earth, out earning men. We could earn a little bit more because there's still a gender
Hmm.
inequality pay gap issue.
Hmm.
But education, Black women are going to college more.
Yep.
Black women are doing the hard work, the lead work. Hi, Chrissy. Hey, baby. Welcome if you're coming in. we are just here talking about the inequalities as African American women in this business. And here with my girl Candace Renee, as we're talking about, being black women, having businesses, and understanding the game. They don't expect you to know that much as a woman in the business. And who was it? It was Tiny from Escape. And she was talking about it too. She said they just told her and her group members, Candy, the rest of them, she was saying, hey, y'all stay and focus on the music and we'll
Yeah.
take care of the rest.
Right.
You don't want me to learn how to be able to understand. I love your outfit, Candace, and I love your hair, Miss Stevie, giving
Thank
me Kenya
you.
Moore. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, baby,
Yeah,
because it is late. It's so cute. It is.
and that's exactly what I was going for today, y'all. That's another thing, texturism in the business. Because as black women, we know our hair is a key part of who we are.
And I love my funky hair right now. I love it. I just, yeah, it is. I,
It upsets me, Candace, when I see them say, well, oh, you don't need to wear your hair like this. But see, the thing is, black women, we're not a monolith. We don't all look the same. Our styles are
we
different.
don't. Because I can be this today and that tomorrow. Okay? Hey, I love it. Child. Yes.
And even with said, make sure that you are hiring stylists who understand
Who
our hair
understands?
texture
Yes. Who understand when I say I want to
because
switch it up and I want to do my natural today. Or tomorrow I want to, have me a bust down. Or, in a few days I need some braids, I need some faux locks. I just, yeah, that is important too. Yeah.
and make sure that these stylists understand how to work our hair textures
Mm-hmm.
because you're gonna have one girl that's gonna have 3A hair, you're gonna have one girl that's gonna have 4C hair or overly coiled hair. So you have to understand. And I can go back even to the soap operas, the stories. Victoria Rao, y'all know
Mm-hmm.
her as Drusilla
Mm-hmm.
Winters. She said, Candace, she said she had to fight to get them to get a stylist on set that would be able to, because you had African American characters
American.
on
Yeah.
The Young and the Restless.
Yep.
And she said that the president of what was it, ABC, CBS, and them, she offered, she said, I would like to bring a stylist in to do a demonstration. They saw the results of our hair. Our hair is looking good,
Mm-hmm.
like how I hope our hair is now. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to do that. She literally had to fight tooth and nail. Again, it goes to show you that the things that black women have to do in this business, and
Have to
that is
go
make
through.
sacrifices. Because
Yep.
there should be someone on set who looks like us, who understands our hair texture. Even with me working in the fashion and beauty world, we see the Victoria's Secret campaign. They got some
Mm-hmm.
backlash in one of the ads. They got
Mm-hmm.
a Caucasian model, and the Caucasian model hair looks like how my hair is currently looking right now. Beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
full layers and all of that. Whereas you just slapped a ponytail on the African American model, didn't? Because with black women, how we are about the baby hairs. The baby hairs has
You're
to be
right.
perfect. It has to look like this hair looks like it's going from my scalp. It has to be perfect. They didn't even take in consideration to do any of those things. They just slapped that ponytail on her, and I'm just like, how y'all gonna do the sister like that?
Right. And not just hair, I've also experienced makeup. Having a makeup artist that doesn't look like me, and my makeup was not the best. Let's just say that. It's like, no. So then we have to start bringing our own makeup, for you to use, for the makeup artist to use on our face instead of just hiring a makeup artist who's versatile and doing makeup for all races.
For the woman
It
of
would be
color. And
for the
at
woman of
that
color.
time, at that
Yeah.
time, but we didn't have a whole lot. Who was it? I'm naming all the famous women today because these are stories that they've shared.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi Campbell, she said that at the time when she was doing her modeling in Paris as well, too, Tyra even said it, that they literally, what was popular? Y'all already know that pink compact. Candice, you know which brand I'm gonna say. Fashion Fair. Fashion
Mm-hmm.
Fair,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Iman, and there were so many. It
Mm-hmm.
was very few and in between at that time. The brown girl. because
Mhm.
we would have to mix our foundation shades to get the correct shade. Then,
Right.
boom, here goes Iman with her collection. She says, I'm going to make sure that I cover every woman of every shade. And then, fast forward years later, what did Rihanna do? Rihanna put us in a chokehold when she dropped Fenty because it's like, okay, you
Right.
got 50 foundation shades. We were ready to go to the bank and go straight on to Ulta afterwards when she dropped it off. We were like, when is she
Mhm.
dropping it? And I was
Mhm.
excited because I can remember the commercial and everything that she put out. I'm like, this is what we needed. Because at that
Right.
time, in the 90s, way back when, you only had one shade that could fit the brown girl. Everything else was for a model of Caucasian ethnicity.
Yeah.
And we would have to bring our own hair care product, bring our own makeup because the makeup artist and the hairstylist wouldn't know how to work with our hair, or you would have to go to a stylist at that catered to our hair and make sure that you wrap your hair up every night. Y'all
Mhm.
know what it was like,
Mhm.
especially if you go into an audition. You'd have to wrap your hair up every night, or you'd have to wear the rollers, the Velcro rollers, or you would have to get a
Right.
weave. Weaves became popular. But the thing is, maintaining those weaves. We talk a lot about the leave outs, making sure that everything right
Right.
here is perfect. And
That it
it was
blends.
difficult at that
Yeah.
time. It was less is more. But now it's a whole lot more in the beauty and the fashion world for us as Black women. And as
Mhm.
Chris just said in the comments, Black women are versatile and multifaceted. Exactly. And
Yep.
I can quote a film that showed that to me. And Candace, you know which film I'm going to say? It was Waiting to Exhale. Because you saw
Oh yeah.
four different Black women, four different
Yes.
walks of life. They were not all the
Mhm.
same, and they looked just like us. So
Mhm.
we learned a lot through fashion from the Black women that we saw on television, whether it was Felicia Rashad, Claire Huxtable on The
Mhm.
Cosby Show. Whenever she wasn't being, an attorney or a school teacher, a professor, she would get in her glam and she would go out with Cliff. And we just like, oh my God, who is this woman? Felicia Rashad was just
Mhm.
amazing. And she showed us
Yeah.
that. If it wasn't
She
her,
was.
then we saw
Still is.
uh what was it? Jackie on 227. Every woman wanted to be a little
Jack
bit of
Hay.
Sandra.
Yes.
uh,
Yep.
we wanted to be
Sign. Yeah.
uh Vivian Banks on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Janet Hubert.
Mhm.
These were Black women who had
Yeah.
style. I can take you even further back. Diane Carroll even spoke about
Mhm.
racism in the business and what it
Mhm.
was like being a Black woman and the representation that we
Regine
saw.
from Living Single.
So
Yes.
shows like
Yeah.
that showcase Black women,
Yeah.
four different styles, four different walks of life,
Yep.
and their personalities were different. So we needed to
Girlfriends.
see
Let's shout
that.
out to Girlfriends. Girlfriends was good too.
Barbara
Yeah.
brought the keynote. Exactly. These shows
Mhm.
showed us as Black women that we're not all the same. Our stories are
That's
different.
right.
Our styles are different. Tony is not going to be like Joan. Joan is not going to be like Maya. Maya is not going to be like Lynn. And in fact, Lynn, her style was different. Lynn was more so
Very.
of the
Yeah.
but she still had her feminine edge to her as well too. Maya was more
Mhm.
so, sultry. Tony was giving more so, glam, and so was Jones. So I mean, everybody
Mhm.
had their own style. And collectively, to Chrissy's point, that is the key thing with Black women. We're not a monolith. We don't all look the same. Our
Right.
styles vary. And that's what we need more and more of in the business. So there is beauty in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We need to see that. So we have to make sure that we are working hard to preserve that. And that was going to be my next question for you, Candace, as a filmmaker and as a producer. How important is it that we see more and more Black female filmmakers in this day and age?
Very important, honestly. Not just filmmakers, but crew. I aspire to have a all female crew of color. Honestly, um, we are so powerful and we're so creative, but we're killing it though. You know, like there you have Nia DaCosta, who is, oh my
Yes.
God, Nia DaCosta, you have Lena, Ava, and we're coming out, and I'm loving it. So I love this movement. I don't even want to say this movement. I love the fact that we are not backing down and not shying away anymore. And we are letting our voices, we're letting our faces, we're letting everything, we're living bold and unapologetically. And so it's very important to see us shine because baby, we are who we are. We are the culture, you know?
Exactly. Black filmmakers, creators, we are the culture, and it's important that we preserve that. And it's important that we make sure that we are uplifting in our communities, pouring back into our communities. Independent
That,
filmmakers,
yes.
black independent filmmakers out here.
Working
So,
together
and
too,
I
that
had a
is so important as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with Matthew Kenner, who is a filmmaker and actor as well. And he was getting trying to get his second project off the ground. And I said, anything that I can do, donate. We got to be sharing these links and everything. Donate to help these filmmakers out, kick their projects up off the ground. There's so many up and coming filmmakers out here. And it's important. Again, and I use Dwayne The Rock Johnson as an example and Spike Lee because they had little to nothing. Dwayne The Rock Johnson had $7. And what did he do with that $7? He took that and he turned it into his dream. He focused on his career. So it's important that we preserve generational wealth for our offspring, for our next generation that is coming up. Because
Absolutely.
I'm
Hmm.
going to continue on with Style by Stevie. I've announced it in my stories earlier. I said I'm going to do a season 21 and season 22, and I'm going to continue to keep doing this. But we know that being independent it's
Yeah.
you're gonna have to fund everything yourself. And a lot of people are like, well, it's hard. We know we if to any independent artist out
Yes.
there, we know it's like. But if you have a
It's
vision and a dream, go ahead, Candace. I'm sorry.
no, no, no. I was agreeing with you. Yes, it is hard, but when you keep going, when you stay consistent, you'll get there. Like it becomes easier, And then next thing you know, it's just it takes off and it's bigger than you could have ever prayed for. So yeah. Um, I had a thought and I just lost my train of thought. But go ahead, go ahead. What was your next
Yes, I was
question?
saying with Matthew. Matthew was saying, how difficult it was, being a filmmaker, having to get funding to do your next film, to do your next project, doing it independently, having to do Kickstarters, GoFundMe, all of these things to get people to invest. You're having to purchase film equipment. You're having to purchase
Hmm.
all of these things, get the location, make sure that you get the venue out or whatever that you're filming or shooting in. It's all of these things as an independent filmmaker. Even if you're an independent musician, we have this conversation all the time. We talk about how if this is a passion or a dream of yours, I would rather have my full creative input and vision than rather to be up under
Hmm.
the system like a Warner Brothers, like a Paramount. We've seen the whole situation
Right.
with the merger. I would rather do this independently because I know that it's coming from me and I'm telling a story that I know that my people can relate to. And it's important that we
Hmm.
showcase stories about us, highlight us, because again, like Chris just said in the comments, we're not a monolith. We are very multifaceted as Black actors, as Black creatives. And uh, Candace just said it as well, too, which is we have paid a huge part to the culture, Black entertainment.
Yeah.
We have we have
Right.
shaped it.
It's so important to build a team. Being independent, you have got to build a solid team that's dependable, someone that are passionate and not just looking for a few dollars, someone who believes in the vision. Make sure that you guys are like-minded, make sure that y'all gel, you're equally yoked, as they say. That is so important because yes, funding is hard, but when you have a solid team, when you have a DP that say, hey, I believe in you and I believe in where you're going, you'd be surprised that DP will show up and say, "Hey, you don't owe me anything," because they believe in the vision, right? Or, "Hey, I believe so much. Let me invest this." Building a team, a community, and staying positive, staying influential, staying productive. that helps. It again, it makes the road, it makes this journey easier. Um, you'd be surprised. So many people want they want us filmmakers to put out, right? And they're willing to invest. They're willing to give. I feel like sometimes, and I may be taking this to a different topic, but we self sabotage and we kind of mess it up for ourselves, right? As filmmakers. And the reason being is because I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. We shy away or we feel guilty for standing on our business. And so it's like full circle for me. Stay, keep your yes be, let your yes be your yes. Stay the course, build your community, and just watch everything fall into place. Does that make sense? I hope I wasn't going all over the place with that.
No,
But
no, girl.
no, go ahead.
No, I was saying that that makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Stay the course. And to
Hmm.
anybody who has children that's wanting to get into the entertainment business, Candace, you know where I'm going with
Yes.
this. And I was just
Yeah.
talking about it with Latanya and Maurice yesterday. If you have kids that are that are looking to get into the film production company, they're wanting to go to college to pursue, and master fine arts or whatever, get them
Hmm.
involved. If this is something that they want to do, create your
Hmm.
team. One of my guests that I had
Yep.
on just last week, Tyrone Nathaniel, his mother is a playwright and he works with her company. So it's family owned
Hmm.
and they're working together. That's what you have to do. The legwork. Work with them. If you have that skill, you have that tenacity, you have that drive, that passion. Make sure that you are uplifting the next generation as well too, and teaching them so that
That's
they can
right.
teach
Yeah.
next generation as well too. So do you see how that
Right.
cycle is going to be? Again, it's called paying it
Hmm.
forward. The knowledge that you have and that
Yep.
God has given you, that ability, that God-given talent, make sure that you are encouraging the next person as well too to go and invest because it is an
Right.
investment. You will spend some money. You
Definitely.
have to invest
Yeah.
anything in the
Yeah. Yep. And it's a good investment. It feels good, especially when you're doing it for, you're building your brand. It feels good to invest and pour into it. And so, you probably was going there because my daughter is a young actress. I don't know if you know, but she's an award-winning actress. She's won an award before her mama. She won an award for best actress. But I pour into her so much, and I'm constantly asking, "Is this what you want to do?" I don't want it to be my dream. I want it to be yours. So
Mm,
just staying positive, staying, keeping that in the forefront. Allowing your children to make their own decisions, and if this is a path that they want to take, you stay right there by their side, you guide them, and you pour into it, you feed it, you nurture it, help them grow into it. um, Trinity has been on my set on set with me a many of days. I think that's how she's obtained half of her roles, is just being there with her mom, being in the right place at the right time. um, but it watching her grow in it, and receive, the accolades and the awards that she's received, because she just won another award a couple of months ago. um, it makes it all worth it. It feels good. I don't mind sacrificing anything to pour into her vision, and to pour into her dream, and what it is she wants to do as an actress. We have a plan, and we're working on that plan. So I'm excited for her. I'm excited for the next generation. I watch her and her peers. She's in an arts academy school, so she's in a theater cluster, and it's just watching them and just seeing the next generation come up before us in this industry is mind blowing. And the fact that I have a little voice, not a little voice, I have a voice to impact that in a good way. It's, girl, it's powerful. You know, yes.
and it's such a good
And
feeling.
I'm sorry, I'm doing this and I'm trying to share this live. So if you see me moving around, I'm just sharing a link to this live.
No, you are good, girl. And that was my point. We have to inspire the next generation of
Mm-hmm.
filmmakers, of young women that are coming
Mm-hmm.
up in the game. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, go for it. There's seminars, there's conferences
Hmm.
that you can go to. And a part of another part of Black, a staple, a part of Black culture that also helped with a lot of historically Black colleges and universities that has done tours is a magazine publication. And I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about, Candace.
Mm.
Every grew up in the Black household, we would always get
Yep.
a magazine that would come in the mail. And
Hmm.
Essence Magazine is part of Black women's lives for centuries. So it's a part of helping shape us. They would have the PG, Procter and Gamble, and all of these other brands way back in the day. And
Hmm.
especially if you were going to colleges, historic Black colleges and universities, we need more programs that excel in fine arts and so much more to help up and
Hmm.
coming filmmakers, directors, because
Yep.
there's so many. We are now in a day and age where they you can shoot a film on your iPhone.
You sure can. Yeah. Yes, you can.
Times have changed from way back then to
Yes.
now, where we are now
Yes.
AI and all of this other stuff and all of this digital
Girl.
technology. We've come a long way from then.
We have. AI is taking over. AI has taken over. Yes. I'm learning about it right now in film. I just took a course on how to utilize AI so that I can utilize it in film and filmmaking because it's here and it's scary how fast it is taking over. Think about the music. Have you know any AI artist? Nick Hustles is one of my favorite.
Xenia, and I think, girl, when I
China
tell you K
Doll is
Michelle
another
had
one.
me screaming, she said,
I think China is one. Yeah. China Styles, I think that's her name.
it's so
China Styles, that's another AI.
and don't forget King Thelonious. I mean, he was coming up with hit after hit after hit about Drake, and so I
Oh, I
mean,
don't know about
it was
him. I'm
so
gonna have to.
King Thessalon is his name, King Thelonious, y'all, and he came up with the whole song about Drake and the BBL. Oh my God, I was screaming. So I mean,
And
there's
he's
so many
AI.
talented artists. Yes, I have to send it to you.
Wow.
You will laugh. And I think K
Wow.
Michelle, she even just said something about as art having to claim their likeness. That's been the thing. That's been, everybody, even when the writer's strike was going on, SAG, and how actors didn't want to go into work. It's like, no, no, I'm not going to have my likeness used for this. But you take that and you use it for the betterment of good if you want to. But if you don't want your likeness used, you make sure you let them know. Um, the new logo for my platform here. Wait a minute. We're bouncing back and forth. Uh-oh. I think it might have kicked Candace again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is add her back because I think what she was sharing, it might have knocked her out. Okay, so I'm gonna add Candace back when she comes back and she's gonna click the link. But in the meantime, are y'all enjoying the conversation? Are y'all enjoying the conversation, fashion dolls? And we're back. When you shared, yeah, you're good, girl. You good. And we're back.
No,
We were talking
I got
about
a call. A call came in and I declined it. I'm sorry.
yes, yes, you're good. We were saying about, wait a minute, artificial intelligence. Yes, yes, we were saying about artificial intelligence and how art, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, Candace is going to come back. This conversation is very inspiring and stimulating. It is. And I want you all to take something away from this. Oh, wow. Oh, hello.
Together. I promise we're gonna get it together. Thank you guys for
Thank-
still staying in here with us. We're gonna get it together.
Yes, you are good and you're back. I was saying about artificial intelligence and how the whole writer strike, SAG, AFA writer strike was going on, and how actors saying, "Hey, we're not going to do this. Meet our demands as well too. We do not want our likeness being
Mm.
used." But there's a difference between you forcibly using someone's likeness and then someone, saying, "Hey, let's have."
Yeah.
And I've been actually been having fun with it. Like the new logo for Style by Stevie, which you guys see. Shout outs to Lee Arts.
Oh,
He took it and he took a photo of me and he said, "You know what? Let me go ahead and do something." I said, "I want something that is different." And it is eye catching because I look just like the picture. My mom, when I showed it to her at first, because she also has somewhat creative input
hmm
into, the fashions and everything here. And she said, "Who is that on that picture?" And then she looked at me. I said, "Mama, you don't know who that is." Because we look just alike, Candace, and I'm pretty sure in any black household, y'all, we get it all the time. "Oh my God, you look just like your mom. You sound just like your mom." Girl, when I tell you, she looked at that picture, she looked at me, she said, "That's you?" I said, "Yes." Lee Valiant Art created
Yes.
this, and he played around with it. And I said, "I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it a lot." And people started loving it. So you guys get to see me because before I didn't have a picture of myself in the logo. It was just green, as you see on the banter here on my channel. And someone was telling me, if you want to network, if you want to get yourself out there, utilize AI. And I was scared of it at first. I was against it. I was like, nope, don't want to do it. But shout outs to spoken creators. He put me onto it, created a whole song about me in the show here, and
Ah,
created
love it.
I have to send you the picture, girl. It's pink and she's
Yes.
sitting in the chair, her legs are crossed and everything. I said, that is me. But then the second one, Lee Valiant Arts did. So I'm just like, oh, y'all are doing so many things. So
hmm
I let my viewers use their creative control as well too. And I love it. I love it. So I would say use that AI
You
to
see
your
my
advantage.
AI avatar. Have you seen my AI avatar for Star C Productions? I do my videos.
Yes.
And it's a play on AI. I say, see Renee's AI here acting intelligence because I give insight on terminology and set etiquette and, tips on, I give film tips on there. So, a lot of people, it's so funny because a lot of people say, how do you create your AI? How did you do that? I'm like, y'all, it's super simple. It's just Snapchat. That's all it is. But the buzz
Right.
is there and people love it. And I'm like, wow. And then I'm learning now how to create movies with such characters that not just look cartoonish, but that look like us, like you, like your mom,
Yeah.
because that is here. People are creating shorts and creating movies and series and posting them right here on this platform, YouTube, and killing the game as if they spent a million point three or 1.3 whatever dollars on a film. It's so funny and it's scary, but it's exciting to know that I can sit here at my dining room table and create an episode that's going to intrigue your interest and keep you watching, and I can just keep creating and I don't have to go out and hire a DP or a script supervisor. I can do this right here. Girl, you just hold on. Just hold on. You'll see. Star C Productions will put out there first by before the end of the year. Yes,
Y'all
indeed.
make sure y'all stay in tune and support this sister here.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all go and support my girl. And this is what's key. You utilize those little tools. You have little to nothing, but use those tools right there to your advantage. Don't let the
absolutely.
system take advantage. You spin it
Mm-mm.
around. Candace, this is another good example, and it's not AI, but something tragic happened. Y'all have seen the Afro Man trial, right? And how Afro Man literally, girl, it was hilarious. How he took the songs and made the songs about the police in the house and everything. You have to take it. What he did was he took it and it caught our eyes. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
take I'm gonna quote my girl Beyonce. Y'all know I'm a part of the Beehive. You
Me too,
gotta take
girl.
lemons and make lemonade.
And
Okay?
make lemonade,
Use it
honey.
to your advantage. Afro Man, because see, it's all about, viral. we are all on social media. We're
Right.
watching what's going, we're scrolling down our feed and it draws you in. So it's all
Hmm.
about drawing people in, getting an eye. You know, you need all of those eyes to be there. Like, what is it? The Michael Jackson movie that will be dropping this
Yes,
Friday.
this week.
It's gotten all this
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
So you
And
have
you
to keep
have
people
to,
on the edge.
you do. And don't stop creating. You know, with C Renee's AI, I'm learning so much with her, and I'm having fun with her, creating her and building her, and just etching it in people's brain because I'm constantly posting. And so you have to create and create something that's going to stand on people's mind, right? And intrigue their interest. And AI is so limitless with AI. Oh, I don't want to spill all too much, but listen, y'all better jump on that train. Better get with it,
Use it to your advantage. And it's
please,
so we
before
are
it
now
becomes
in a
oversaturated.
yes, and we are now in a day and age where technology is everything. We are now seeing the cars driving without a driver in the front
Without a
seat,
driver. Now
and
they
we're
have the
like,
drones. They have the drones that deliver directly to your door now. You order something on Amazon, they have a drone that will bring it to your front door. What? Now what we need to do is somebody, one of us, and I'm listen, which one of us go start our own company delivering, our own delivering company? Better get us a
we're
drone and
something
figure
that
we need to figure that thing out.
that's something that I also talk a lot about too here on my platform. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tuke Spot. We are here with the beautiful Candace Renee. We're just
Hi,
having a little
Candace.
girl chat about
Yes.
supporting all things black, supporting filmmakers. But to the delivery point, that is something that I have been talking about, and K Tukes will tell you, as well as Chris, they'll tell you. This is something that I've been talking about, which is we have to make sure that we are starting our own companies. And what we don't have or what we lack in, we now have to start these things. So, absolutely.
And you know what? Hi, K Tukes. Um, when you see a need, when you see that there's something that's lacking in any industry, I'm in a film industry, but if you're on, I don't know, maintenance industry, if you are, if you're at a school, if you're a school teacher and you see that there's a need for something, go start it, put it out there. Come on now. I mean, and even if somebody else has done it, they haven't done it like you. Do it anyway. And
And
I
it's
think,
original.
huh?
I said, and it's original. Be
Yeah.
creative, be original. That's your own
And
aspect.
and use AI because AI is again taking over. And it's limitless. It's so much. Sky's the limit. Not even sky, but it's so much you can do with AI.
And it's so much fun. This is your creative vision, your creative
Yeah.
control. And the beauty of being an independent creator is that this is you. You've jotted down your plans from point A to point B on what you want everything to look like. I create vision boards and I'm all about
Hmm.
putting things into perspective and what I want each season to be. I'm always
Yep.
reinventing myself. And as any creator in here that is watching, it is all about creating what you want your vision to be, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And I think a lot of independent filmmakers, black independent filmmakers, can take to that. So to Candace's point, she just made a good point, which is we need to be creating our own apps, our own delivery service. Because
Yes.
I mean, I just did we can now what shop, buy online, pick up in the store. Like we've come back in the day, you couldn't do that. You'd have to go get you a shopping cart, one of them old
Right.
little wagons, and you could go
Yeah.
to the store. My grandmother had one. We no longer have it. But we literally, I remember when I was younger, we would have to walk to the store and carry this little shopping cart with us, our own
Hmm.
little shopping cart there at the house.
Yeah.
But now they can deliver at your front door. They're using drones, they're using
Yeah.
the trucks, they're using everything.
Even the little robots. I've driven downtown Dallas and you see the little robots going down the sidewalk, and on the inside there's something,
Yes.
it's going to go make a delivery. And so, yes, don't ever think anything is too big, because somebody just like you sat there and said, let me figure out how I can get this drone to deliver some products to this person's house, and bam, they're millionaire, billionaire, right? So don't ever think any idea that you have is too big, because if you have it, you can achieve it, you can do it. And I'm a firm believer in that. Have to stay consistent, stay consistent, stay consistent, and stay the course. No matter how crazy it get, just stay the course. Yep.
Trust me. There's so many black owned businesses out here that we can be supporting. And in this time, right now, in this climate, I know a lot of people like, what can we do? Pour into each other. We had neighborhoods, we had businesses, we had restaurants, we had all of these things. We can invent our own app, we can invent our own delivery company. Like that, we've got what?
We need to
Uber?
pour into each other and stay, support. I don't know if you say you grew up in the South. So here in Dallas, we had
Yes,
candy houses. One of the earliest black owned business was right next door, the candy lady, who had, snacks. You go to her house and you buy whatever type of candy. Man, let me tell you something. After school, go get us a pickle and some Jolly Ranchers, or go get that Doritos with some nacho cheese. We supported her. All she did was went to the store, bought a whole bunch of snacks, and sold it out of her front door. And my point is, like, I wish we got back to that hunger as, business owners supporting other black owned businesses. Now, of course, you do have bad apples, but you have that everywhere, right? But you can't stay stuck on that. You just have to know, hey, believe in the overall vision and dream and what it is my point. I wish we get back to that place and time that we were in, where we stuck together, we rode for each other, we helped each other, we genuinely helped each other, and it wasn't for notoriety, or we didn't have any bad motives or anything. We didn't feel like somebody, the next person, was competing with us. We genuinely wanted community, and we built our community, and I wish we got back to
and my colleague Bubs the God, he was saying the same thing as well too. Like we got to be able to get back to that space of the olden days. You used to could go to your neighbors and borrow and all of these things. We had businesses, we had community. The, start a food truck, start, and we see black owned vending. There's so many things that you could do
that.
to be into your community more than ever. We can pour each other. We pour into each other. We have the resources. That black dollar is powerful, y'all. So I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if you go and you invest into the people who are doing for the community for the greater good, and that will continue on and flourish. I mean, we have Tulsa,
Hmm.
Oklahoma, we have Galveston, we have all of these black neighborhoods who were what were flourishing, and then they came and they took it all. So we have to make sure that we are doing these things, and it's beneficial and
Hmm.
critical in a time like this. There was literally a black woman who created an app that has nothing but black owned everything. Like you could type in whatever you're looking for. It's like a almost like a what do they call it? Like a not an atlas, not an encyclopedia, but basically like
A
a
phone, like a phone book.
yes.
Almost, kind of, I guess. A digital phone.
Where you
Well,
search whatever you're looking
something
for.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Shop the Hood is the name of it. It's called Shop the Hood.
Shop the
And you
hood.
type in what you're looking for, and people were just like, well, what about the name? I'm like, I don't care about the name. This is what we need right here. More than
See, people
ever.
worried about the wrong thing. What about the name? But what is it though? Think about that. Yeah.
Yes, you could find hair vendors because yes, we go to the beauty supply store, we go to all of these things, but what about a black owned beauty supply store? And there's very few and in between. Like one of my good girlfriends, Faith, shout outs to her, Faith is the substance. She's in Atlanta, and Atlanta has a black owned beauty supply store. We don't have that down here in the Carolinas.
Hmm. I'm sure we have. I I would think we have it here, but I don't know. I'm sure we do. But yeah,
This is what we're about. We have to invest. We have to invest.
yeah,
If they can go and they can buy up all of these buildings and things, put your
we
business
can
there. We have
too. Absolutely.
black owned restaurants, though. We have black owned restaurants down here in Carolina. Southern Soul is one. A Taste of Soul is another, and that's in Orangeburg, South Carolina. That's like 5 minutes away from me. So there are so many things that we B&B meats black owned, and I know the owner. The owner has known me and my brother and my family since we were children. So it dates all the
Mm-hmm.
way back. And they have a kitchen. They have their own meats. They have their own. If you like seafood, fish, shrimp, whatever you like, they have that there. So we
Mm.
have to make sure that we are pouring back into these communities,
Into yeah,
business more than ever.
yeah. I agree. Totally agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that being said, speaking of business, we have to make sure that we're also replenishing ourselves as well too. So Candace, we talk a lot about soft girl era here on Style by Stevie. What does soft girl era look for you? Because I believe look like for you because I know every, especially black women, and we see it on social media as well too. And I've seen them do the most beautiful posts. I'm gonna go through list by list of women who said, you know what, I'm gonna pour back into me. I'm gonna take care of me. They go on vacations by themselves, or you'd see them, just get their hair or makeup or whatever done. Taraji P. Henson, Mary J. Blige, Tracy Ellis Ross, JT is another. I'm like, these are women who are in their soft girl era. So what does soft
Mm.
girl era look for you, Candace? What does self care look like for you?
About a year ago, I've kind of slacked from this, but about a year ago, I every Monday was labeled Me Mondays. That it was Me Day, meaning every Monday after I dropped my kids off at school, I didn't do any type of production work. I didn't answer my phone if I didn't want to. I may have come home and got in my bed and laid in the bed all day and slept or watched TV or did whatever I wanted to do on Mondays. I didn't answer to anybody and I did not feel guilty about it. That was my way of recentering and getting myself together and taking time, necessary time out for me and not feeling guilty about it. So then I start hearing the soft girl, soft girl, soft girl, and when we start hearing it, it was associated with relationships. Well, I'm single, okay. So then I started seeing a wave of women, who it was about self care, and then it was, but so I pretty much I came to the conclusion: soft girl is about peace. When you
Yes.
finally tap into an undeniable peace, and that's what soft girl era means to me. And I'm every day I strive to to get there or stay there or be in it, be engulfed with just peace, be at peace, settle my brain. Every day I do something to where I cut the world out, and again I don't feel guilty about it, and I want to explain why I keep saying don't feel guilty about it. Stand on your yes, stand on your no, because forever, I am 43 years old. I will be 44 in June. Forever, I lived for everybody. Like, and I know that sounds so cliche, and a lot of people say that, but I was so timid. I went through life just like timid to love me, to say yes to me. And I would say yes to everybody else. So the fact that I can sit here today and have a guilt-free mindset to shut the world out, to cut off my location, to cut off my phone and just recenter myself, especially when I feel that my brain is all over the place, that I'm, on a verge of spazzing out, as they say. That's what soft girl era means for me. It's finding that peace, that undeniable peace, and living in it, embracing it, and not feeling guilty to be in it. That's what that means to me.
And more so being in tune with yourself as a black woman, because like you
Yeah.
said, this human nature is in our DNA where we constantly give so much of ourselves to the world.
Mm.
and we're not putting ourselves first. That's the selflessness in us, and this we inherit that from our mothers, where we
Yeah.
just have that intuition to give, to nurture. It's deep
Yeah.
inside of, and it's just like
And
when the
I'm a Cancer
first.
girl. I'm a Cancer. So Cancers are the nurturing sign
Yes,
of the zodiac, you know. So I have it like, woo, you know, I want to help everybody. I feel bad for everybody, but I always put myself last. I can't keep doing that, you know. So,
gotta put me first. We have to put us first. As women, because that again, that human nature. I have a 2-year old nephew. I don't have any children, but I know for you, Candace, you have to balance being a mom, being a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, and make sacrifices. And that's for
hmm
any woman in this business. And I can go back to an interview years ago where the interviewer asked Diana Ross, "Do you believe that women can have it all?" And she said, "Yes, I can. I'm a mother, I'm an entertainer, I'm, an actress. I can do all of
hmm
these things. But most
hmm
importantly, I am me, Diana." So
hmm
it all goes back to having to understand that we make sacrifices for our family, we make sacrifices
hmm
to help, but we got to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And you cannot pour from an empty glass. I tell people that all the time. You cannot pour from an empty glass. You have to replenish. And whereas I preach a lot about self care, you guys see me get up every morning. I exercise 30 minutes a day, and I come on. I first thing in the morning I do is I have my conversation with God, and I say, you know what? I want to start the day off with mindset, clarity. The whole thing about soft girl era is being at peace and in tune with yourself, being gentle to yourself, whether that may be getting a deep tissue massage. We're seeing a lot of black
hmm
women, the pandemic, and even now after the election, they're saying, hey, I'm going to do some yoga. So we're seeing women
hmm
take up yoga in high value more
hmm
than ever. We're
hmm
seeing them say, hey, I want to go on a trip by myself. Y'all have seen the movie with Julia
hmm
Roberts. What was Eat, Pray, Love, where she went and toured around the world, different countries, and all of these things? That's what a lot of women are starting to do. And I can remember Taraji B. Henson saying this in an interview to Candace. She said, I don't need my girlfriends with me. This was just for me. I wanted to take a trip by myself to get back in
hmm
touch with myself. And
With
as
me,
Black,
yeah,
we need to make sure that we are getting back in touch with ourselves more than ever, because nobody can define you better than you. You know yourself.
that's
And we're
right.
always having to wear the cape. We're always having to be strong. But it's just like, who's going to take care of us when we're feeling vulnerable, when we're feeling all of these different things? Who's going to take care of us? We have to make sure that we are prioritizing ourselves, because, again, that nurturing instinct. Candace is a Cancer. I'm a Scorpio. So my mom's a Libra, October 7th. And she is very fiery. She's very passionate about certain things. Libras are determined. I will say that for sure. Libras are very determined. Cancers are nurturers. Scorpios, we're very loyal. So by default, if somebody's telling me I need to take a mental health day, I'm gonna be right there encouraging them and being loyal to them and they're what they want to do. And that's what it's all
Right,
about. And
right.
whether it's getting a tissue massage, whether it's going to get your hair done, get your nails done. And I encourage my mom all the time. My mom sometimes is stubborn. I said, Mama, go get your hair done. Go do something. I'll pay for it. I even treat her. I spoil my mom, Candace, and it's bad. It's bad,
hmm
bad, bad. Because we do it. And even my nephew, I spoil him too. I'll buy him toys sometimes. But
I'm
my
sure
mom,
it's
like, this is,
well deserved.
yes, my mom is like, you didn't have to do this to me. I'll go to, let's say, I love Victoria's Secret. So
hmm
anytime I buy perfume from there, I always make sure
hmm
that I go in doubles. She'll look at the receipt and she'll be like, why you spent this much? Why you got two of the same thing? I said, no, one is for me, one is for you. I don't buy just
hmm
for myself. I make sure that I get something for her as well too. So I'm always
hmm
spoiling my mom with perfumes and jewelry, and she don't have to do that material things. But I'm like, you're my mom. You deserve this. Take this gift, girl. So
Yeah,
she loves it. At the end of the day, when she smells it, she
I
smells good. She
love
looks good.
that.
She feels good. And I
Yeah,
believe that every woman should. pour into themselves. Have me time, ladies. So that's what I would say. And
Me
even
time.
Candace, the aspect of you're like, okay, mommy needs some time to herself. My mom, I said,
Hmm.
Mama, you take that time for yourself. You raised me, my brothers, and my sister. We gonna go
Hmm.
on ahead and we gonna be all right. We gonna find something else to do. We got our careers and livelihood going on. My mom has now picked up a green thumb, and I've even seen black women say, "We gonna go into gardening. We're gonna go into the things that we want to do because it's therapeutic." And I think that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Deshaun, I didn't see you come in. Hey, boo. We were talking about soft girl era. If you're just coming in, if you have women in your
Hmm.
family, and then Mother's Day is coming up. So I know for Mother's Day. I would say to all of the mothers out there, because mothers make so many sacrifices. Well, I can't speak to being an aspect, but I'm gonna let Candace go because she's the mom. I don't have any kids. I have a fur baby. So if you talk to me about dogs, we'll be okay.
I love my fur babies. Fur mom, your fur mom.
Yes. And
Yes.
again, you make sacrifices for your kids. You know what it's like as a mother to
Yeah.
have to make sacrifices for your kids. But make sure that you're being gentle to yourself because you deserve so much more than just that. You give, you
Give
care, and
yourself
to
grace.
anybody, don't feel guilty about taking time for yourself. Do not feel guilty about taking time for yourself or
You
pouring
know what?
into
I
yourself.
always associate when you take a flight and they tell you to put the mask on yourself first before you try to save
Yes.
your child, right? You have to think about that. You have to take that, have that mindset to say, hey, if I don't take care of me first, I can't help the next person. I can't help my kid. I'm not going to be, strong enough for my children. And so I think about that all the time. So that's why I don't feel guilty when it's me time. That is my time to revamp, like I say, and recenter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To anybody. Uh-oh. It's doing it again. Hopefully. Okay, Candace is gonna come back. I think she might have got a call. But in the meantime, hey Deshaun, you're missing a great conversation. I'm gonna add Candace back, and then we're gonna conclude. How y'all enjoying? Are y'all enjoying the conversation? Are y'all enjoying the stimulating conversation? We covered a number of things from uh, being in your soft girl era to a number of things today.
My phone just won't stop ringing. I'm so sorry. And every time it rings, it kicks me off. I do apologize.
No, it's okay. See, we just talked about that balance. As women, we have been taught balance. You balance out paying the bills, making sure that the house is taken care of, and everything. It is about balance. And my mother even taught me and my sister this, as well as my brothers as well. Each and every one of us, all of my siblings, we have been taught that it is about balance. And
Mhm.
my brother has a kid. My nephew, my 2-year old nephew. And my mother always told us when y'all have children, wait till it's y'all turn. The same thing that I had to do for y'all, which is make sacrifices. My mom worked, hardworking woman, and she made sure that we didn't go without a Christmas. My dad did as well too. Marine vet, truck driver. He's still alive and living, and he made sure that we also had things. So being a
He
parent,
didn't want for
there are
nothing.
the
Right.
okay. But as a parent, you have to make sacrifices out there. And I'm thankful for the way that my mom and dad both helped shape me into the woman that you guys see today, which is, I can say my mom has nurtured me and I have a nurturing, caring spirit. Like when people are scared, Candace, and I'm pretty sure they do it to you too, they will DM you like, okay, who's a best friend that I can rely on, that I can talk to? And then the vice versa, the same, who's a friend that I can
Mhm.
talk to? K Toops would call me or text me on the phone, and he does it before every interview. And he's like, "How you doing, sis? How you feeling today?" And the same here. If something's bothering me, I will call him and just let loose, vent. But for us
Yeah.
being nurturers, that's a part of being a nurturer, being able
Hmm.
to help other people, but make sure that you're helping
Right.
yourself as well too. Make sure that you are
That part.
pouring into yourself. It is a thing. Again, it's human nature. It's instinct. And we always have to find the in between. Like, do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? Stop being guilty for putting yourself first. When you have given so much of
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you can't pour
That
from
is
an empty
so.
glass. Replenish.
Cannot. You have to. You have to. Absolutely. Absolutely. This
Absolutely.
has been
Thank
some good
you.
girl talk.
It
Yes,
has.
this has been some good girl talk.
And we got to do it again, girls. So before we
We
wrap,
will. Okay.
Candace, what would you tell to young black girls that are watching both of us right now
Mhm.
on this platform? What would you tell them?
Look at us. Look at us. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, you can and you will. Go do it. Go do it and be great at it. And just please know that it's not going to be easy. There will be obstacles. But trust me, you cannot control what comes your way, but you can control how you respond to it. And how you respond to those obstacles, that's going to determine the outcome. So, you know what it is that you want to do. Look, Candace, don't be afraid to do it. Know that it will get done and just go for it. Go be the best version of yourself that you can be. It's okay to cry. It's and feel free to laugh. Do more laughing. If you have to cry, do cry too, but don't stay down. Just, cry, get it out, and just keep on going. Just keep going. Just stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. That's what I would say. Stay the course. I can't say nothing. And that's coming, that's gonna be another girl talk and another conversation that's coming from,
Yes, because I am going to
just
bring her back.
the things that I've experienced, in life. Um, and a lot of it has to do with up here in my mind, overcoming mind blocks. That's another conversation too. Do you understand me? Yes, indeed. But I would tell, I did a letter to my younger self, about a year or so ago, and I reposted it a couple of months back. And one of the things that I said is, you have a heart, you have a genuine heart, Candace Renee, and people will, you're gonna get your heart broken. People are gonna bless you. You just have to stay focused, stay grounded, and just stay the course. Don't give up. Please don't give up. If I can beg any young brown girl, do not give up. That's what I would say.
Oh, and she just said a mouthful. And how do I come after that? What I would say to any young black woman or young black girl that's looking at both of us, you can. Two words. You can.
You can.
Like Candace just
I
said,
like
it's
that.
going to be being black, being a woman, being told no, being told you're aggressive, being told you're bitter, all because they want to silence your
Being
voice.
desired. Being
Yeah.
desired because we are desired. We're desirable. People, we're intriguing. All the great things. You know, just you can. In spite of, you
And
can.
absolutely.
And
And the
I'm gonna
possibility,
speak life to it. I'm gonna speak life to it. Not just you can, but you will. There you go. Yeah. Got to get
they
that thing
doubt you.
life.
They will tell you, you can't do it because you're black. You can't do it because you're a woman. You can't do it because you're a girl. They will tell you this. Never let them, and it's a quote from Maya Angelou that goes like this. She would always say, "Be a light, be a what is it, a rainbow in someone's cloud." So to young black girls
Mm-hmm.
out here, be that light. Never let anybody diminish you or your voice. We're living at a time where they are silencing black women, where they're taking our
Mm-hmm.
lives, where they're causing harm
Mm-hmm.
to us. We
Mm-hmm.
have to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that we are continuing to be the voices out here. So never let them
We
take your
have to.
voice, young black girl. And in fact, scream loud, black girl. Let them know that you have
Yeah.
arrived. Don't let them tell you that your hair isn't good enough, your melanin isn't good enough, that your existence, your essence as a black woman is not good enough. Because
Right.
for years,
Come
they
on.
they have said that black women we aren't good enough. And Malcolm X said it best, the most disrespected human being on the face of this earth is the black woman.
That's right.
So, black girl, shine. That's
But
what I would
we're,
say. Sincerely, Miss. Yes.
we are stepping into our shoes. We are walking in our shoes, and we are changing that narrative. And we are here. So they can try all they want to, but we're not going nowhere. We here, honey. Do you understand?
We're still here. Our existence, our beauty, our essence, our strength, our brilliance, all of these things that make black women so unique, we will still continue to be here and exist. And you have two right here on the screen that are very qualified, that are intelligent,
Yeah.
that are amazing and talented. And Candace, I had a fabulous
Yeah.
time, girl. We got to do it again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me with all of the drops. But this has been fun. This was a pleasure. I'm honored again. I can't wait to come back and talk to you. Thanks to those that are in the comments. I see you. Hey, guys. And I look forward to next time. Now I have to go
Yes,
be a
and I'm
mom
going
and
to,
go pick up these kids from school.
oh God, and let them know where they can follow you at, Candace, because I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to send you those dates, girl.
Sure. See, pretty much C Renee 3865 is pretty much on every platform almost. And that's CRENEE 3865. That is on Instagram and TikTok, I know for sure. It may be Snapchat as well. I don't really do a lot on Snapchat. But on Facebook, if you're a Facebooker, it's Candace Renee. And that's CANDACE and then RENEE. But pretty much everything else is C Renee 3865. And 3865 is love backwards. If you look at your phone and you look at the word love, I'm such an advocate for love. I love love on every level. I believe we should all lead in love. And so 3865 is very, very dear to me because I carry love with me everywhere that I go.
And the same for you, fashion dolls. Y'all be aware, love each other, love on one
Mhm.
another, pour into your community more than ever, and make sure that you are uplifting the women in your lives. At a time where
Yeah.
they're tearing down black women, where they're trying to break us, it's not working.
Right.
So I love y'all, fashion dolls. Candace, this was amazing, girl, and I love you. I can't wait
Thank
to have you back
you. I
on.
love you more. Thanks.
Set
Thanks
this
for
up.
having me.
You are so welcome. And make sure you guys join me tomorrow. We have the Zay joining me. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And as always, till next time, everyone, make sure y'all support my girl, Candace Renee, and check her out. Her film
Thank
production company. We need more black women in film. So y'all make sure y'all go and support my girl over here. And I will see y'all tomorrow with the Zay music. Take care, everyone.
you. Bye.